Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by Frank Smith. I mean, it's a bit crazy being here after watching all the fight camps, mate. But how have you been today, and how is it to kind of reflect on fight camp when we're having a barbecue right in the middle of where the ring was?
I know this is a bit easier than fight camp, to be honest. Fight camp was a lot of fun to do, but yeah, special place here. I've obviously worked here 15 years. A nice place to come to work. Lovely view as well. So yeah, it keeps you going every day.
I was going to say, definitely. I mean, the fight camps must be raking a bit around here. I mean, it's a bit too hilly for me.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a few. It's not the easiest. Did one with Ed the other day. He went off at a pace of knots, and I had to try and keep up with him.
Play, mate. I do want to touch on kind of Angel. Obviously, we're here for Opetaia Thompson, but Angel Fierro is your next show next week. Kind of preview that show for me. Obviously, Skye Nicolson fight for the interim title as well, and is Erica Cruz on that card as well?
Yes, yeah. No, look, it's a great card in Mexico. You know, look back to Tijuana. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere there. Angel Fierro, we've all seen what he can do. You know, he's a brilliant talent. You know, and he's very highly ranked as well, and not far off from a potential world title challenge. Skye Nicolson, as you say, going for the interim title fight. You know, and she's not far off. You know, a big fight for her in the new year, possibly, or later this year, probably in the new year, is that Amanda Serrano fight. You know, that's a massive fight to be made. So yeah, great to be back in Tijuana. As I say, those Mexican shows are great. We just announced another one for Cancun on October 28th with Oshaki Foster against Rocky Hernandez and Andrew Tabiti against Justice Hooney. So the Mexico shows are great to get up and running. So exciting few months coming up there.
Definitely, mate. And obviously you've got loads of shows. Obviously up and coming. Opetaia Thompson's the one after Angel Fierro. Obviously, kind of Jordan Thompson has kind of slipped into a position where he wasn't expected to with the whole Reactor situation, but it's an opportunity that he's been taken with both hands, fighting Opetaia for the IBF and Ring Magazine Cruiserweight World titles.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is an opportunity he couldn't turn down. You know, he's a special. You know, Opetaia's a special fighter. You know, #1 ranked by many people in the cruiserweight division. You know, he went in there and what he did against Breedis. He's been out the ring for a long time though. You know, and when we got this opportunity to work with Jai, and then saw an opportunity to make the Jordan Thompson fight, it was a fight Jordan couldn't turn down. You know, it would have been possibly waiting another 18 months or so for a world title shot if he wouldn't have taken this one. And you know, look, albeit he's not the favourite. He's got the odds stacked against him, but these are the moments you have to take. These are the fights you have to take, and he can go in there and he can cause a massive upset. Jordan's a massive puncher, and if he does this, he changes his life.
Definitely, mate. And on the undercard, obviously Ellie Scotney as well, obviously defending her world title. A win on September 30, would that kind of solidify unification with Marlon Rivas?
Yeah, for sure. That's a fight we'd love to make. You know, look, Ellie's making the first defence of her world title. She won it back in June. You know, she wants to keep busy and she wants the big fight. So hopefully that's a fight we can make after this one.
Definitely. I do want to touch on kind of other fighters who I don't think have been announced on the schedule. Andy Cruz is one of the ones who kind of made a huge noise on his
He's coming now, by the way. Jordan Thompson. Here he comes to cause some trouble. We'll say a quick hello and then we'll carry on. How are you? Are you sweating as much as me?
Eh?
Are you sweating as much as me?
Mate, it's fucking nuts, isn't it? Thank you.
Mate, you're not.
Cheers, man. I've been drying it off, mate. I've been drying it off.
Alright?
Yeah,
All good?
Good.
Yeah,
You good, yeah?
Good, mate, let's go.
No, go time.
It's a shot. We've got to go and change your life.
This is it, bro. The lottery.
Yeah,
this is it. You know we're going to light him up. I promise you that.
In a bit, yeah. Let me know if you need anything, yeah?
Appreciate
See you later.
See you later.
Take care.
Where should we go back here? Were you recording?
I've recorded the whole thing.
No.
Is that alright?
Oh, yeah.
I was before we kind of go into it, we'll jump back. There was a photo post.
Yeah.
I think you posted it yourself and Jordan. How long have you known Jordan?
Since I was a baby, since I was born. My mum was Jordan's mum's best friend.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the strange thing is, so first 5-6 years of our life, we were always together. Then we stopped seeing each other because they moved to Manchester, and it was only when he was about, this was 4 years ago, someone went, Nissa Sowland actually said to me, I'm with a guy called Jordan Thompson outside, he's got a picture of you to his kids. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then it all clicked in that, you know, we'd known each other a long time. So yeah, it goes back a long way.
I mean, you don't. Obviously, you're not a member of the media, so you don't need to be biased when Jordan wins. So that's fantastic. We'll go back to it. Andy Cruz made a huge kind of statement on his debut. Went really good rounds with a tough guy who fought for a world title as well. When can we see Andy Cruz back in the ring?
I think he's going to be. The plan is for him to be on the undercard of the Devin Haney-Regis Prograis fight. So that's the aim for us to get that done, and that's looking like December. We would like to get him out a bit earlier, but I think it's a perfect show for him to be back out on in a big fight. You know, look, Andy wants to move quickly, move up those world rankings quickly, and get a shot at the world title within his first 4 or 5 fights, and that's our plan to do.
Definitely, I look forward to seeing that. I do want to touch on Edgar Berlanga. There was obviously a lot of talks about him potentially fighting Munguia. I don't know if that fight is still happening. Could you give an update on that for us?
Yeah, I think that fight's unlikely, unfortunately. We've got a meeting with Edgar when we're in Orlando in a couple of weeks. So let's see. You know, we'll have to see what happens there, and see what else. You know, what can be done. It would have been great to make that fight. We thought it was a brilliant fight to make, but you know, I don't think it's very likely, unfortunately. And we have to see where we go from here. But Orlando, we'll sit down with him and go from there.
Definitely, I look forward to it. I do want to kind of move on to your November the 11th date, which obviously was supposed to be kind of Cyrus Patterson, Lewis Ritson. Obviously a great win by Conor Walker, gutted for Cyrus, obviously, but I think Cyrus can come back, and obviously his pay-per-view value in 2 fights this year, they're unbelievable. But is there any update on that card on who can slip in? Is that card still happening in Newcastle on November the 11th?
We're trying to push for it still to happen in Newcastle on November 11th. We've got some work going on. Hopefully over the weekend we'll get some more clarity on it, but that's definitely still our intention, is to try and keep the show going in Newcastle. We've got some great talent there, some big ticket sellers, so you know, I think early part of next week we'll have some clarity on it.
I know that Mark Dickinson versus Grant Dennett, that was ordered by the British Boxing Board of Control, and then also Eddie's kind of mentioned Pat McCormack versus Troy Williamson as well. Could those be potential fights that fit on that card?
Yeah, I mean that would be a great fight. I think we'll have to see. You know, look, Pat's early in his career. You know, he's only had 5 fights, I think, probably 5 fights now. This would be his 6th fight. We'll see what happens, but that's definitely a fight we're interested in trying to make.
Definitely. Do we have an update on Dmitry Bivol? I know you and Vadim work closely on that, and obviously I feel like he's one of the fighters that everyone wants to see fight, and he hasn't been out in a while. Is there any update on Dmitry Bivol?
Yeah, I spoke to Vadim last night. You know, a lot of people have been questioning the situation with Dmitry. He had an injury which meant he was out of the ring for a little bit, unfortunately. Obviously, we wanted to keep him as active as possible, especially after that great win against Ramirez. We're working on potential opportunities now. We looked at the Munguia fight as well, but I don't think it's a fight Munguia wanted to take at this time. I understand that as well, by the way, in terms of the weight, you know, but it was something we looked at maybe at a catch weight. I think now we're looking at a potential fight. Lyndon Arthur's a name that's come up. You know, we've obviously offered the fight previously to Buatsi and Dan Aziz, but Lyndon Arthur's a potential fight. We all saw him win on Channel 5 just the other week, so that would be an interesting fight. But yeah, work is to get him out this side of the year.
Definitely, we look forward to seeing that one. My final one, mate. I don't think I have enough time with you today to go through the whole of the matchroom schedule, but is there one fight outside of the main events? Is there one fight that you're particularly interested in and invested in?
What, the rest of this year?
Yeah, the rest of this year on undercard fight.
We've got so many shows coming up. I think we've got 13 or 14 shows in 15 weeks. I really like, you know, one fight I really like that's been waiting a long time to get done is Kieran Conway against Linus Udofia. I think that's going to be an entertaining fight. Look, there's loads of fights though. You know, we're doing 14 shows. We're doing about 10 fights a card. We've got 140 fights between now and Christmas. So you put me on the spot there. I'm sure there's some big ones we're going to make as well. But yeah, there's some interesting ones out there.
Definitely, mate. Well, and just to finish, any new signings for match coming soon?
We've announced a few. Yeah, we've got a couple of new young kids coming through. We've announced a number recently, but yeah, we've got a couple of kids coming through that we'll announce soon.
Definitely, well, I'll try and find those out.
Yeah, they'll be out online before we know.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Good to see you.
Mate, you too.
Cheers.